I like the artistic approach. I think Ryan was a little resistant at first. He's not used to that. He was never thought of himself as artistic. But then to see him be proud of himself, the things that he's doing when he works on the book that they do for class, and they're all required to do some kind of drawing and writing, and his writing has improved. He's more confident in what he can do, and I just see him when I tell him, Ryan, this looks really nice, and he just beams, he just lights up. I've seen a lot of him reaching more of his potential through the artistic nature of the school, which is wonderful.
It was about a decade ago, and my oldest son was then 3.5, and he was home with either myself or another caregiver, and we were looking for a place he could go 2 mornings a week to have just a different type of activity. And I was looking around the community, and there was a friend of mine that was also a teacher in the kindergartens at the time, and said, have you checked out the Waldorf school? And I said, I hadn't done that yet. So she said, you know what, it really mirrors your family values. You got to take a look. So I went with my husband, we walked in, and just the feeling we had when we walked in the door was like, no, we're here. It was comfortable. It was, there wasn't chaos, not that there isn't fun and play going on, but it just felt like a really calm, wonderful place for my son to spend a couple mornings a week. And really that's where we started. But of course we're still here today, so we've been here almost 11 years now, so something good's happened along the way as well.
One of the other things that really attracted me to the school early on was not only the beautifully painted walls in every single room, and I learned since then that the colors are chosen very carefully based on their developmental stages again, which is another interesting fact that everything is done with a purpose at Waldorf. But the other thing that really struck me was you walk into the classrooms and there's so much nature inside of the building. It also brings life indoors because you look around and there's wood everywhere. They have stones and crystals. Plants are in every classroom. It just, again, enhances that love for nature, and it brings life into the classroom instead of being a cold, sterile, plastic environment.
In 1919, in response to the horrors of World War I, Dr. Rudolf Steiner, Austrian philosopher and scientist, was instrumental in creating an education that would work to positively transform society. That is the social mission of all Waldorf schools and Three Rivers Waldorf School today. The positive transformation of society, one child and one education at a time. Three Rivers Waldorf School is named for the beautiful Black, La Crosse, and Mississippi rivers that converge beneath the bluffs that embrace the city of La Crosse, Wisconsin. The city is at the heart of the Coulee region, which offers a vibrant community amidst the enchanting natural environment of western Wisconsin. 4 seasons of natural wonder stimulate the senses and soothe the spirit. The city's bluffs, marshes, rivers, nearby fields, and prairies offer natural vistas and many opportunities for meditation and play. Nestled amid the homes and businesses that make up the north side neighborhood of La Crosse, Three Rivers Waldorf School offers an oasis from busy city life. Our park-like gardens and green spaces embrace and soothe. Our playgrounds stimulate and excite creative play and social interaction. The beautiful large school building, fronting on Caledonia Street, welcomes you to airy, bright classrooms and large public spaces. Since 1996, Three Rivers Waldorf School has provided holistic, respectful, and an individualized excellence in education to the children and families of La Crosse and the Coulee region.
I see the classroom as more of a family environment for learning, so there's a community in the classroom. I think that the fact that parents are responsible for the running of the school and the sustainability of the school makes it very much a community-based school system. The outreach into La Crosse and trying to do things for the better of the community of La Crosse at large. So I think there's community in the large sense all the way down to the community in the classroom.
The school community offers the whole family rich opportunities for personal growth and development. But what is Waldorf education? What makes it work? Education's goal is to prepare one for life. Waldorf education's preparation for life includes the development of the well-rounded person. Waldorf education has as its ideal a person who is knowledgeable about the world, human history, and culture, who has many varied practical and artistic abilities, who feels a deep reverence for and communion with the natural world, and who can act with initiative and freedom in the face of economic and political pressures.
Head, hands, and heart is thinking, feeling, and willing, and in plain speak, that's when the children are younger, in the younger grades, they are kind of held in this womb-safe, like nourishing environment, which I love because I love the early child aspect of Waldorf education. That's another reason that drew me here. And so I have a second child who's in kindergarten now, and I get to go through that process again with my son. But in the lower grades, they really protect the children from the outside influences of the bigger world until they are ready, which is the philosophy of the school is to open them up as they get nearer towards middle school years, and then they are able to take in outside influences such as news and media and learning about injustices in the world, and then so there's this doing part that happens by the time they reach the upper grades, and so they are ready to take on outside social projects and to really take off.
Waldorf education teaches to the head, heart, and hands. A common misconception in our time is that education is merely the transfer of information. From the Waldorf point of view, true education also involves the awakening of capacities, the ability to think clearly and critically, to empathetically experience and understand phenomena in the world, to distinguish what is beautiful, good, and true. The class teacher walks a path of discovery with the children and guides them into an understanding of the world of meaning, rather than the world of cause and effect. It begins with the early childhood years. The children in the Little Lights Child Care Center, parent-child classes, and kindergartens learn primarily through imitation and imagination. The goal of these years is to develop a sense of wonder in the young child and reverence for all living things. This creates an eagerness for the academics that follow in the grades. The early childhood teacher in a Waldorf school works with the young child first by creating a warm, beautiful, and loving, home-like environment. This environment is protective and secure, where things happen in a predictable, regular manner. Here, the teacher responds to the developing child in two basic ways. The teacher engages in domestic, practical, and artistic activities that the children can readily imitate. For example, baking, painting, gardening, and handicrafts, adapting the work to the changing seasons and festivals of the year. The teacher also nurtures the children's power of imagination particular to the age. She does so by telling carefully selected stories and by encouraging free play. This free or fantasy play, in which the children act out scenarios of their own creation, helps them to experience many aspects of life more deeply and develop the social skill of problem solving with their peers in a group. When toys are used, they are made of natural materials, pine cones, wood, cotton, silk, shells, stones, and other objects from nature that the children themselves have collected are used in play and to beautify the room. Sequencing, sensory integration, hand-eye coordination, tracking, appreciating the beauty of language and other basic skills necessary for the foundation of academic excellence are fostered in the early childhood and kindergartens. In this truly natural, loving, and creative environment, the children are given a range of activities and a structure that help them prepare for the next phase of school life.
The kindergarten experience here for Dio has been great. He loves it. He genuinely loves his teachers. He loves his classmates. He loves the environment. There's many days I come to pick him up, he doesn't want to leave. When I bring him to school and when I come and get him in the afternoon, he's calmer. Or if he is high energy, it's because he's high energy with his friends.
Elementary and middle school children learn through the guidance of a class teacher who stays with the class ideally for 8 years. The curriculum includes English based on world literature, myths, and legends, history that is chronological and inclusive of the world's great civilizations, science that surveys geography, astronomy, meteorology, physical, and life sciences, mathematics that develops competence in arithmetic, algebra, and geometry, foreign languages, physical education, gardening, arts including music, painting, sculpture, drama, eurythmy, and drawing, handwork such as knitting, weaving, and woodworking. Waldorf education recognizes and honors the full range of human potentialities. It addresses the whole child by striving to awaken and ennoble all the latent capacities. The children learn to read, write, and do math. They study history, geography, and the sciences. In addition, all children learn to sing, play a musical instrument, draw, paint, model clay, carve and work with wood, speak clearly and act in a play, think independently, and work harmoniously and respectfully with others. The development of these various capacities is interrelated. For example, both boys and girls learn to knit in grade 1. Acquiring this basic and enjoyable human skill helps them develop a manual dexterity, which after puberty will be transformed into an ability to think clearly and to knit their thoughts into a coherent whole. It is easy to fall into the error of believing that education must make our children fit into society. Although we are certainly influenced by what the world brings us, the fact is that the world is shaped by people, not people by the world. However, shaping of the world is possible in a healthy way only if the shapers are themselves in possession of their full nature as human beings. The history of Three Rivers School began in 1994, when a small group of parents gathered to discuss a holistic alternative education for their children in the greater La Crosse area.
I'm a founding parent, so almost 20 years ago, I saw an advertisement for a group of people getting together at the university who wanted to start an alternative school. So we met, our children were babies at the time, and we talked about what we were looking for in a school. I work for the public schools. I like and support the public schools in town, but I knew I wanted something a little bit different. So we talked about nature-based kind of schools without television and advertising and all that. And one of the people there knew about Waldorf and started talking about what Waldorf had to offer. And then we started reading together and looking at Waldorf curriculums. And we decided, rather than inventing our own and kind of mimicking the Waldorf thing, why don't we just go with the Waldorf? We had a couple things about it that we weren't sure how that was going to work out. We knew there was a Christian information was taught there. Not that we were against that, it was just how does that work in a school. But then when we read further, we found that all the religions were taught in historical context and cultural context, and we were all very interested in that. And we started to pursue it.
The parents began the formation of a Waldorf school. The founding parents expressed their vision and wishes with the school with this mission statement. The mission of Three Rivers School is to enrich the lives of Coulee region children, their families, and the community through Waldorf education. Waldorf education strives to awaken the true potential in each human being, clarity and creativity in thought and expression, balance compassion in feeling and conscience in initiative in action. Therefore, as a community of students, teachers, parents, staff, and supporters, Three Rivers School participates in the positive transformation of society. Since 1996, Three Rivers School has offered the choice of Waldorf education to the La Crosse area. Starting with only 7 children in a rented space of a church basement, Three Rivers School now owns its lower north side location, serving 110 children in pre-kindergarten, kindergarten, and grades 1 through 8. With the purchase of the former Jefferson Building, a neighborhood playground remains open and accessible to the public, a key goal in La Crosse's preservation of quality of life. In 2006, the first class of 8th graders graduated. In 2007, Three Rivers School obtained the level of developing school from the Association of Waldorf Schools of North America. Families of all cultural and socio-economic backgrounds are welcomed at Three Rivers School. Our tuition policy does not require a family's ability to pay as acceptance criteria. The low-income child sits next to and has the same opportunity for success as a more privileged child. Children benefit from a nurturing environment where all people are valued, cultivating an environment of respect, effectively countering attitudes of entitlement and hopelessness. As we look toward the future and continue our strategic planning, we are inspired by the possibilities we work to realize. A commercial-grade kitchen for more efficiency and potential rental income, increased sports opportunities, a violin program for grades 4th through 8th, formal programming for woodworking, gardening, and additional foreign languages. These are just to name a few. Funding of Three Rivers School is provided by tuition revenue, fundraising events, and donations from our supporters. With the maturity of educational programming and structural investments, our costs have increased. 51% of our families attend Three Rivers School through our tuition assistance program. Balancing fiscal rigor with enrollment opportunities, we are now approaching the larger community for financial support of a learning environment that has the power to transform lives. Your contribution to Three Rivers School supports the continuing work of education, community outreach, and social awareness. Contributions immediately support our tuition assistance program, teacher training, and program support. Children are our future. This is Waldorf education. This is our passion. If you find the work of Three Rivers School inspiring, please join us in supporting an education that benefits families, communities, and the world.